Hello and welcome to this tutorial where you're going to learn how to make these sweet little fabric flowers out of fabric offcuts and fabric waste. My name is Helen Round. I'm a textile artist living and working in southeast Cornwall, and one of the things I noticed when I went into our cutting room was the amount of beautiful salvages that we have left over when cutting the fabric. So this actual project is brilliant for using these salvages. If you haven't got the salvages, you can use your own fabrics, but do let me know which fabrics you use, as I'd be really interested. You can pop that in the comments below. So what do you need? You need a pair of scissors and you need a glue gun. You need the fabric scraps. You can actually buy these salvages on our website. You get a pack which is enough to make 20 little flowers and in over 3 different colours, maybe even more. And then you need, if you want to make a garland like I have here, you need some really nice string. You can use ordinary string, but I really like this because it's actually linen, and I think it sort of gives it a rustic feel. So really simple and perfect if you don't like sewing, because no sewing, just gluing. So let's get started. So I've chosen to make our first little rose with this lovely rust coloured linen, and what you want to do is start by, I'm going to use this flat edge because as you can see here I haven't got any fluffy flowers, and this edge here is giving me a fluff, but you can variegate. So I'm using the flat, and what I'm going to do is just start by turning the edge over to make a little roll like that. Can you see? And to stop it all unravelling, what I suggest you do is pop a little bit of glue on there now, because it can be quite frustrating if you get going and then it all comes undone. So I've used a glue gun and I've popped a little bit of glue on. Now to make these little petal shapes, let's have a look. This one's got quite nice petals. Look, I've basically folded the fabric in on itself. So carefully fold the fabric like that, sort of at right angles really, and then roll the fabric again, but keep it nice and tight and sort of pull it so that the fabric rolls along the fold. You see? You can trim these bits off afterwards. Now if you want fluffy edges you could continue rolling, but I don't particularly, so I'm going to do that fold again. So I'm going to catch those fluffy bits and fold over like that, and then that's really annoying me, so I'm going to cut off cut off that bit there before we start. That's it. So where were we? Yeah, so we've done a fold and we're going to roll the flower and the fabric following the fold. Now when you get to the end of that fold, I suggest you get your glue gun and you pop on a bit of glue, and that'll help secure it. Okay, so I've done 2 folds now, and I'm going to carry on by just rolling the fabric around the piece that I've got. And what you want to be careful of is that you don't end up with a pointy out bit in the middle, so you do that by just, you can give it a little push down, but also by just checking that when you're rolling it's on the same level as the center. So again, a little dab of glue in there like that. You see how that's coming on? And once I've secured that with a dab of glue, I'm going to fold down and start rolling again. Now as I said at the beginning, it doesn't have to be linen, it can be any fabric scraps that you've got in your sewing basket. If you're like me, there's plenty to choose from, but do pop a note in the comments below and let me know which fabric you think works best. I quite like the linen because it folds, and we've got a lot of it and it stops us having any waste. So there we are, another bob of glue. Come to the fluffy bit again. Do I want the fluffy bit? No, not really. I'm just going to fold in. So you can see that this time I've done the fold so it's slightly acute. It's not sort of quite as sharp as before. That's fine. Just means that when you roll around, you've got to work a little harder by pulling to make sure that fold goes up the top. Another drop of glue. Oh, and another thing you could help me with actually is glue guns. Let's have some recommendations for glue guns, because this one is really temperamental. Sometimes I find myself pushing the end of it to get the glue out, and then too much comes out. So if you've got a good glue gun recommendation, I would really love to know. I mean, we all love picking it off our fingers at the end of the day, don't we? I think they all do that. So keep going around. There we are. And now I've just done a fold, so now I'm going to do a bit more rolling. And you could stop here and you get a really nice little sweet, small little rose, or you could make it bigger. So I'm just going to carry on a bit more. Now, in terms of what fabric you need, in terms of size, here I've got pieces which are between 1 and 2 centimetres wide, and I'd say the minimum you need is 30 centimetres. The longer you've got, obviously the bigger and fatter your flower is going to be. I'm going to do another turn now, fold it round, another turn, fold it round again, and a bit more glue to make sure it doesn't all unravel. So if you've enjoyed this video, do take a moment and subscribe. Check out our website, helenround.com, where we've got lots of other free patterns, sewing and non-sewing, for you to enjoy. And send me an email, let me know how you get on, because I'd love to see it in the comments. So I'm carrying on and I'm rolling it round, and you know, I think this is getting to be a really nice size now. So I'm just going to roll around a little bit more, pop a bit of glue on, like that, to secure the edge, and use my scissors to trim off. And there you have it. A little bit of glue on there I can pick off once it's dry. Trim those fluffy bits off. A sweet little rose. And to attach it to the linen string, you just pop a little bit of glue on the bottom of it, and you can then pop that onto there like that. Now you can buy the fabric scraps, the selvages and the linen cord on our website if you want to, and there's enough in there to make 20 roses. Let's just have a look at what it looks like as a garland. So I've got a little gift here, so if I was going to put this around the gift, could wrap it around a few times like that, which would look really pretty. Or what I did do the other day was wrap it around some fabric, and it looked really nice. So I've got one of our tea towels here. I'll just take the band off, and if you had a scarf that you were giving as a gift, I think it would look really, really pretty. Like that. Also, you could hang it in the house somewhere nice. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Do comment below and look forward to the next one.